Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai. Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai. Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari Tai. Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari Tai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Ayor Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadramayi Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Privrajaka Acharya Ashtota Sata Srimas Divine Grace Abhaicha Naravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Kantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate. So today, on the Sunday evening feast, love feast, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, on the matter of attaining the Supreme. Text number 16. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. One more time. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, Krishna is telling this, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Purport. All kinds of yogis, karma, jnana, hatha, etc. eventually have to attain devotional perfection in bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness before they can go to Krishna's transcendental abode and never return. Those who attain the highest material planets, the planets of the demigods, are again subjected to repeated birth and death. As persons on earth are elevated to higher planets, people on higher planets such as Brahmaloka, Chandraloka, Indraloka fall down to earth. The practice of sacrifice called Panchagana Vidya, recommended in the Chandogya Upanishad, enables one to achieve Brahmaloka. But if on Brahmaloka one does not cultivate Krishna consciousness, then he must return to earth. Those who progress in Krishna consciousness on the higher planets are gradually elevated to higher and higher planets. And at the time of universal devastation are transferred to the eternal spiritual kingdom. Baladeva Vidyabhushana in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita quotes this verse, Brahmana sahate sarve samprapte pratisanchare parashyante kritatmanah pravishanti parampadam. When there is devastation of this material universe, Brahma and his devotees who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness are all transferred to the spiritual universe and to specific spiritual planets according to their desires. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadharine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivas Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome all the devotees for this Sunday Love Fest in ISKCON Coimbatore. So today we read from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, one of the most important instruction given by Krishna to Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita. Gita means song given by the Supreme Lord Krishna. So the glory of Bhagavad Gita is written by Srila Prabhupada in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the first shloka, in the purport. Prabhupada writes, if someone is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita in the line of disciplic succession, without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures in the world. So Prabhupada is mentioning what is the qualification required to understand Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada writes that we have to hear from a speaker who comes in the line of disciplic succession. Then the message will act on us. It will transform our heart. There are so many people who are talking on the topics of Bhagavad Gita. But if they are not coming, delivering the message which are given as it is in the disciplic line of succession, Guru Parampara, then one cannot realize the instructions and the message given by the Supreme Lord. Then Prabhupada continues that the Vedic scriptures are very vast. For a human being, the scriptures are like manuals. People are facing so much of difficulty because they don't know what they are supposed to do. So Bhagavad Gita is a concise, conclusive summary of the Vedic scriptures. So Prabhupada writes in the same purport that whatever is contained in the Vedic scriptures is there in Bhagavad Gita. Not only that, there are some messages in Bhagavad Gita which are not there in the Vedic scriptures. See the glory. So this small book, which is of 1,000 pages bound, just with 700 shlokas and 18 chapters, if you just read, it is equivalent to reading the whole Vedic scriptures. And Prabhupada also says that what is not there in the Vedic scriptures is there in Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. So, and then Prabhupada concludes in that purport, it is an instruction given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is a perfect theistic science. In the world of atheistic world now, people don't have belief in God. But Prabhupada says this Bhagavad Gita is a perfect theistic science, which is mentioned, which is given by the Supreme Lord. So, why it's very special, especially this Bhagavad Gita, as it is published by the Bhaktivedanta book trust written by His Divine Grace Abhay Chanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. is, Prabhupada said, when he went and released this Bhagavad Gita in America, actually there were around 650 editions. Hare Krishna. So the reporters, they asked Srila Prabhupada, so what is, Swamiji, you have come from the East India. So what is special about your Bhagavad Gita? Already there are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita. So what it is special about your Bhagavad Gita? So Prabhupada said, it is, I have named this Bhagavad Gita as Bhagavad Gita as it is. That the message, what was heard by Arjuna in Kurukshetra 5000 years ago, the same message I have delivered. And the result of that is, with this, publishing this Bhagavad Gita, there are so many devotees. They have transformed and become devotees. But when so many other editions of Bhagavad Gita was released, not many people became devotees. So that is the transformation. When Arjuna heard, before he heard Bhagavad Gita, he was confused. He was telling Krishna that, he was giving various quotes from the scriptures, that why he should not fight. But still he was not convinced. So then Arjuna was confused, and then he said, Krishna, I am surrendering unto you. Please tell me what I am supposed to do. So then Krishna spoke the whole Bhagavad Gita, and then he said, Yate ichasi tata kuru. Arjuna, I have given all the conclusions of the scriptures. But now it is up to you. Yate ichasi tata kuru. It's your desire, Arjuna. Whatever you want, you do. Then what did Arjuna said? Initially he said, Krishna, we don't want to fight. Why you want to kill so many people? Better I go to the forest. So that was his conclusion. But after he heard Bhagavad Gita, he said, Karishye vachanam tava. I will do what you have said. So he became a strong follower of Krishna. So this is what the transformation happened. And Prabhupada said, this is what is happening. So now this teachings of Bhagavad Gita is spread by all his followers all over the world. And now more than 1 million followers of Bhagavad Gita based on the teachings of Srila Prabhupada are there worldwide. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So that is very important point here. We need to note the mood of Bhagavad Gita. We have to hear from the disciplic succession. That is why ISKCON as an organization is able to transform many people upon hearing this message to become devotees of Lord Krishna. Even though they perform their duties, in their life, they follow the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as told by Lord Krishna to Arjuna 5000 and more years old before. So, in this Bhagavad Gita, the most important is the hearing of the spiritual knowledge is most important for our growth in our spiritual life. It is mentioned that Bhakti has 9 angas. Prabhupada writes in the purport that whoever the yogi is, he may be a karma yogi, he may be a jnana yogi, he may be a hatha yogi. Ultimately, to come to the conclusion of Krishna, understanding Krishna, he has to come to the path of bhakti. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in 2 places, Arjuna, I have given everything. All these different yogas, but please understand. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschashmi tatvataha tato mam tatvato nyatva vishate tatanantaram. If you want to understand me, even though I have given you different yogi, bhakti, only by bhakti you can understand. So the angas of bhakti is explained by Prahlad in Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, when his father Hiranyakashipu asked. First time he asked something and then he explains, and second time also he was very angry because he spoke the Krishna Tattva, which he didn't expect. Hiranyakashipu, he thought he will speak about politics, which he wanted as a son. But he became very angry and he told Sanda and Amarka, what you have taught my son. He said, Tatsadu manye asuravarya dehinaha sada samudvignadiyam asadgrahat hitvatma padam grihamandakupam vanam gaten hadim ashrayet. So this first time when Hiranyakashipu asked, he said, oh my dear best of the demons, asuravarya dehinaha, in this material world, sada samudvigna diyam asadgrahat, everybody is in anxiety. The conclusive remarks of this Vedic scripture Prahlad is telling. So when he spoke like this, that you have to give up everything, surrender to Krishna, go to Vrindavan and try to know about Krishna. So when Prahlad spoke like this, he became very angry because his enemy was Vishnu. So he sent him. Again he called Sanda and Amarka, what kind of training you have given? Take my son again and give properly training. So then again he comes back in his vacation. Then Hiranyakashipu asks again, what do you like? So that is where he speaks. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsar Pitar Bhaktir Navalakshanaha. So Prahlad is talking about the 9 angas of bhakti. So in the 9 angas of bhakti, the topmost is Shravanam. Of 9, the 3 most important is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. In that, the most important beginning is with Shravanam. When Srila Prabhupada met his spiritual master, his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada. So Prabhupada attentively listened to the talk of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was not first of all interested to go and listen from Bhakti Siddhanta, from the sadhus. But his friend actually told him that you should somehow come and hear from this sadhu. So Prabhupada was very impressed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then once Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, oh Abhay, somebody said something about Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Charanaravinda. Prabhupada's Purvashrama name was Abhay Charanaravinda. Abhaya Charan. So he said, Abhay, when some comment was given and something was passed, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, oh Abhay, he hears this message very attentively. So he was very impressed. So we regularly hear Bhagavad Gita. What happens? Bhagavatam says, Shrinvatam Svakataha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam. The heart purifies. Until our heart purifies, which we never take effort. we can never be happy. But when we hear regularly, we chant the holy name of the Lord, we regularly hear Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Hridayantastani abhadrani. In the heart, all the contamination is cleared. Even sometimes when we hear, we may not understand. But still the message is so powerful, it goes into your ear, goes into the heart and purifies our heart. We cannot use our detergents or any other external agents which we use to clean our clothes to purify our heart. But we need the message of Lord Krishna. So one very instructive story you can hear. So one day, one grandson sees his grandfather every day reading Bhagavad Gita. He said, "Oh grandfather, every day you are hearing Bhagavad Gita, what is the use?" So he didn't want to directly tell. So he told, "Oh my grandson, I will teach you a lesson." He didn't say anything. So there was a river flowing and there was a basket. So that was a basket which was filled with coal, nelakari in Tamil we say. It's blackish, correct? So it was filled. So he said, "You empty that and bring water," he said. Why? He said, "You please listen to me." So he was very respectful to his grandfather. So he took the basket and he took the water. What will happen? He was carrying the water as we started coming to the place which was around 100 meters. The basket it's little holes, correct? It's like strewn with threads like how it is, something like that. So the water started flowing down. So he brought. Then the grandfather said, "Hey, what is this? I wanted water and then all the water was overflown. You go and bring the water again." So again he went. Again he brought the water. So like this he was doing this for quite some time. And then he said, "Grandfather, what is this? I am bringing in waters." Then he said, okay, no issues. You just keep the basket and come. Then the grandson was telling, "What is the use? I was trying so much hard to bring water in that, but nothing happened." No. You are thinking no use. But you see the basket, how it is. Then he saw, because he said it was full of coal. It was full of blackish. Correct? What happened? The basket was shining. It was full of water, purified by the water, cleaned. And he said, "You are saying that nothing happened, but what happened? The basket is clean now." So what do you want to convey to me? So then he said, like this, you are saying what is the use reading Bhagavad Gita? Every day I am reading. But you see how this basket, even though the water actually leaked off, but the basket get purified. So similarly, when we hear the message of Bhagavad Gita, it purifies our heart. It says, "Cheto darpana marjanam." Marjanam means purifying. When we hear the topics of Bhagavad Gita, what happens is, the Chaitanya, the Chitta, the Sanskrit word Chitta means consciousness. We are not this body, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in the teachings. And he says that we are the spirit soul. And the symptom of the soul, the characteristics of the soul is consciousness. Like how we say the sun rises and how can we know that sun has risen without seeing sun has risen? By the sunshine. We don't need to, if you are like sleeping in the bed, you don't need to come out and just see the sun to see that sun has risen. If you see the sunshine, then you can conclude that sun has risen. So similarly, that we are spiritual living entities, how can we conclude? By our living condition, that we are working, we are walking, we are doing action. But when the spirit soul leaves the body, when the spirit soul leaves the body, we call it as dead body. Why? Because the spirit which has consciousness has left. So human life is simply to understand this. The Vedic scriptures, the conclusive remarks written by Vyasadeva, at last writing everything. He wrote Shruti, Smriti, Puranas, Pancharatrika, everything he wrote. And finally he gave a conclusive remarks which is called Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta Sutra, the first one is Atato Brahma Jignasham. That in the human life, one has to understand oneself. Then he can come to the path of liberation. The path of which relieves you from the path of cycle of birth and death. So, that is what Krishna is saying here. This whole material existence, wherever you go, says, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Some Brahmanas, they are trying various sacrifices so they can elevate themselves to the higher planets. But Krishna says, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka. Even to the place of Brahmaloka. You see, the whole existence, to understand this, we have to understand how this creation is there. The whole material creation and the spiritual creation is actually as a one unit. And it is mentioned as Tripada Vibhuti, Ekapada Vibhuti. The spiritual existence, spiritual world, where Krishna is residing, which we call it as Vaikuntha, is three parts. And then this material existence is Ekapada Vibhuti, is 1/4 of the existence. But that 1/4 existence, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains. If you take a bag of mustard and then you put your hand and take out, innumerable mustard seeds, mustard is there. So this Ekapada Vibhuti is like, innumerable universes are there. In that one universe, we have 14 planetary systems. We are now staying in the central part. That is Bhuloka. Earth is situated in Bhuloka. These are all given in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Then in the upper portion, 7 planetaries up, 7 planetaries down. Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Janaloka, Maharaloka, Siddhaloka and Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, like that, top of planetary systems are there. Then down planetary, the top planetary systems are heavenly planets, where the material enjoyment is multi-flowed, increased. And we have the hellish planets. The down planetary systems, Atala, Vitala, Talatala, Rasatala, Pathala. Like that we have the down planetary system. So now we are all have been come into existence in this earthly planet. But Krishna is telling that people are trying to go to the top planetary system, down planetary system with various sacrifices. But Krishna is telling in this that Arjuna, that they are all filled with what? Punaravartino Arjuna. That it is filled with this birth and death. Krishna, when he explains the teachings of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, he tells the greatest knowledge. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmata pariharyamte natvam sochitum arhasi. So he says, one who has come into existence, he will die. And one who has died, he will again take birth. So in this course of birth and death, Arjuna, don't be reluctant to fight. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the solution for this? In Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, at the fag end, there was a pastime narrated there in Bhagavatam. It talks about the history of King Prachinibarhi, who was a descendant of Prithu Maharaj rooting from Dhruva. So there, when Narada Muni visits his kingdom, the king Prachinibarhi is not making any efforts for self-realization, to know about himself. He is very much engrossed in sacrifices and fruitive activities to elevate oneself to the higher planetary and also to increase his sense enjoyment, where people are fully involved in this material existence. Right? We don't know anything. When you come to the temple, we are just simply praying, Krishna, Jagannatha, that my son has to pass. He has to nicely get a good seat, good job. My husband is like this, or this, like this, like this. We always want some material benefits. But that is all given automatically to you. Whatever is supposed to come will come. But the human existence is for realizing oneself. So when Narada saw this, he explained to him, the sage's duty is to enlighten the people of this world. So when Narada explained to Prachinibarhi that he was not able to understand, then he gave a very allegorical example that he told about one character called Puranjana. It's an imaginary character. That he was there and he was trying to enjoy his senses. His goal was simply to enjoy, nothing else. Not to know about God, not to know about him. And finally he told that Puranjana is you. So he was allegorically, but still Prachinabarhi was not able to understand. Right? When you are materially situated, this knowledge will not be understood by us. We may be able to understand the science, the physics, or whatever is taught in the schools, but the spiritual education, if you want to understand, you have to come to Sattva Guna. So that is why, to understand Bhagavad Gita, we have to do devotional service. So then, Prachinabarhi says, Narada, I am unable to understand whatever you are saying. Please explain to me. So then he gives a very good analogy. You see, you sleep. How many of you get dreams here? Many. We get dreams, correct? So he's explaining, you're sleeping. And then when you are sleeping, you get dream. And then in the dream, you get a tiger which is chasing you. Actually, the Shastra says dream is an illusion. You are actually lying, but you are seeing that a tiger is chasing you, but you are lying down. So when the tiger is chasing, what is it you are doing? You are like running or trying to protect yourself, correct? But now Narada is telling, whatever measures you take to protect yourself, you are trying to guide, try to hide, try to do this, that. That's not exactly in that particular situation when he's sleeping and dreaming. There's whatever he does, that's not a solution. You know what is a solution? He should awaken himself. He should get up. Correct? When you get up, then the dream goes off. The tiger, everything goes off. So similarly, the living entity which is suffering in this world, which is Krishna's confirming in this particular shloka, that this world is simply a world of suffering. Now, by your worldly life, you all have experience, right? That from the time the child is born in the womb of the mother, it is only suffering. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni mentions that the child is in the womb of the mother, it is full of suffering. Like it is a small place inside and the child is like a bow, 10 months inside, right? If you are tried to put inside a sack for 1 minute, what will happen? You will try to pierce out and come out, correct? Suffocating. But the child is, you see, it's the material existence perfect design that exactly a child is in the womb of the mother, it will die. Like in the material existence, if you create such a situation and put one living entity, the child will die. But the material existence, the perfect arrangement is, it will not die. So it is explained that, the food and the excretion is passed through the same tube. Okay? So like this is very detailedly the study of embryology, which is all came into just 10, 20, 30 years before, is very fully explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, that birth is suffering. Then after you take a birth, it is fully suffering. The child, when it's not much developed, it's crying. The child is crying and the mother is thinking that the child is crying, maybe he's hungry. So it's trying to feed. But actually, the child is crying because some insect has bitten the side. So the child doesn't know what to do. It's crying. So like this, Prabhupada is explaining in his Upanyasa, as we grow in our life, the child grows and the child says that, I want to play. The child wants to play always. But parents don't like. He said, this is your play time. Now it's the time for you to go to school and study. The child doesn't want to study. So that's again suffering. And then when the child grows, then the child thinks, so much of pressure of the studies. So then that is suffering. Then as it grows, then the pressure comes, I have to get a job. Then that is a suffering. Then as it grows, then the pressure comes, you have to get married. Then the whole cycle continues like this. Then you come to old age. Old age is the greatest suffering. Then you have to, at the last, you have to face death. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. Krishna says, for people who don't surrender to me, Krishna says, they have to see me in the form of death. Mrityu sarva harascha aham. Arjuna, people are very busy. They don't want to surrender to me. But if they don't surrender and they face the death, Mrityu sarva haraschaham, in the form of death they have to see me. Krishna is telling. So, Krishna's instruction, just 5 minutes, I'll just finish. In Bhagavad Gita is, then you may ask, so then you are saying that I should not live a life? Whatever you narrated is, that's how people are all living. But Krishna comes from his place, spiritual world, to perform the pastime and to enlighten all the people that this is not your place. Right? So that is why when people die those days, they say that you should chant the name of Lord, so that they can go to Vaikuntha. That's how people's understanding was some 30, 40, 50 years before. Nowadays that consciousness is gone. So Krishna is telling that this material world is a place of suffering. The solution is, as Narada said, from the dream we have to awaken. That awakening is Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada established temples all over the world. For what? Not just we come to take the darshan of the deities, pray to them and then go back. We get spiritual education, spiritual knowledge. That I am not this body, I am the soul, and as a soul, I have to serve the Supreme Lord. Jivera Swarupoi, Krishnera Nityadas. Our real existence is, we are servants. Till I did my graduation and masters, till that time I didn't know this, that we are servant. Then that is how devotees, Prabhupada says, there are two people who are happy in this world. One is a foolish person, because he doesn't know anything. Anyway, nothing, we don't need to speak about him. The devotees are happy. Why? Because they know this knowledge, that we are our existence is to serve. So when we come to Krishna consciousness, we study Bhagavad Gita, everything, we give our life as a service to the Supreme Lord. But that doesn't mean that we give up our other duties. But that duty also we see as a service to Krishna. Taking care of the family, going to the job, everything is a service to Krishna. Yat karoshi yadasnasi, yat jihosi tadasi yat, yat tapasyasi tu kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Krishna says, whatever you do, yat karoshi, whatever duties or activity you are doing, yat ashnashi, whatever you eat, yat tapasyasi, whatever tapasya you are doing, austerity, tat kurushva madarpanam, you do as an activity of sacrifice to me. So it is when we come to Krishna consciousness, we take up to the bhakti, external doesn't matter. The internal consciousness changes. We may think, I am enjoyer, I have a big house, I am the enjoyer of this house, I am the master of this family, I am the CEO of this company, I am the great person of this nation. When you come to Krishna consciousness, all these activity will continue. But it is, I am a servant of Krishna. I am in this family to serve all my family members. I am in this nation, born in this nation, to serve the humanity, to give opportunity to everybody in this nation to revive their spiritual consciousness. And then whatever duty you are doing, that is a service to the Lord. So like this is a purification of consciousness. So Krishna is telling that we have to take to the path of Nivritti Marga. The Vedic scriptures talks about Pravritti Marga, Nivritti Marga. But the most content is Pravritti Marga. It will tell you, this is what is your problem. Okay, do this Nivritti, this Prayaschita, then you can get rid of it and you can also grow. So this is the most content of the Vedic scripture. But that is not going to help us. The ultimate help is the Nivritti Marga. Nivritti Marga is the path of renunciation. It teaches us our exact real Marga. Marga is the path, is to know about ourselves, to surrender to Krishna, to follow the instructions of Krishna. And the topmost instruction of Krishna is Yagnanam Japa Yagnosmi. For the age of Kali, the instruction which we have to follow is we do so many sacrifices. The topmost sacrifice is Japa Yagna. Very simple. You may think spirituality means very, very complicated. I have to give up everything. No. You can be in your position and simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In our congregation, we have many of people who work in the software. They study. They do every action and they chant the holy name of the Lord. So this is very easy. We get up in the morning. And the first duty is we take our japa bag and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then we read the Vedic scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. And then we take prasadam. We offer worship to the deities. And we do our duty. And gradually, when we grow old, we prepare ourselves to face death. For a non-devotee, death is scary. But for a devotee, he becomes fearless to face death. You know why? Because he is very conclusively convinced that with the death, I am going to meet Krishna in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. So there is no fear for him. So the message today for us from Bhagavad Gita is, Krishna is telling, don't try to live in this world. It is full of suffering. Even in the top planetary systems like player Indra, Chandra, Varuna, they are all there. They also suffer. Once Indra, because of the mistake or offense he did to his guru, Brihaspati, he was cursed to become a pig. Hare Krishna. These are all recorded in the scriptures. So, our effort is to spiritually develop ourselves, and in this Kali Yuga, it is simplified by the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says so nicely about this japa. He says, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. He says the glories of Sankirtanam, chanting the holy name of Krishna. When we began the class, we did Kirtan. That's called Sankirtan. When you chant the holy name within yourself, it is japa. When you chant louder, it is Kirtan. When you chant together with everybody, it is Sankirtan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpana மர்ஜனம், பவமகா தாவாகனி நிர்வாபணம், ஸ்ரேய கைரவ சந்திரிக விதரணம், வித்யா வது ஜீவனம், ஆனந்தாம்புதிவர்தனம், பிரதிபதம் பூர்ணம்ருதஸ்வாதனம், சர்வாத்ம ஸ்னபனம். These are all glories of chanting. Then finally what Mahaprabhu says is Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So the victory for our life is Sankirtan. So we should all try to perfect our life by taking to the Sankirtan movement and chant the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions or comments?
ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா. தங்களுடைய கேள்விகளில் தமிழ்லையும் கூட கேட்கலாம் நீங்கள் விருப்பப்பட்டான். Okay, we profusely thank His Grace Srivas Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu for wonderful class. Hare Krishna, please sit down another couple of minutes. Hare Krishna, வருகின்ற உற்சவங்கள் குறித்து அறிவிப்பு. It's coming 11th. We are celebrating. Already we celebrate August 26th. 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, Sri Krishna Janmashtami. Then upcoming 11th is also Ashtami, that is called Radha Ashtami. Jai Radha Ashtami Mahotsava ki, Jai Srimati Radharani ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gurudev ki, Nithai Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna. கடந்த மாதம் 4 நாட்கள் நமது திருக்கோவிலில் 24, 25, 26, 27 4 தினம் மிக கோலாகலமாக மிக பிரம்மாண்டமாக பகவான் ஸ்ரீகிருஷ்ணர் அவதரித்த தினத்தை கோகுலாஷ்டமியை மிக விமர்சையாக கொண்டாடினோம். உங்களுடைய பக்தர்களுடைய ஒத்துழைப்பு மற்றும் உங்களுடைய பங்களிப்பு ஆகியவரால் இந்த விழா மிக சிறப்பாக நடந்தேறியது. வருகின்ற புதன்கிழமை 11ஆம் தேதி பகவான் ஸ்ரீகிருஷ்ணருக்கு மிகவும் பிரியமான ஸ்ரீமதி ராதாராணி அவதரித்த தினம். ஸ்ரீமதி ராதாராணிய தோன்றிய தினத்தை ராதாஷ்டமி என்று உலகம் முழுவதும் கொண்டாடப்பட்டு வருகிறது. இந்த வருடம் வருகின்ற 11ஆம் தேதி நமது திருக்கோவிலில் கொண்டாடப்பட உள்ளது. காலை மங்களாரத்தியில் தொடர்ந்து மங்களாரத்தி, அதைத் தொடர்ந்து தர்ஷனாரத்தி, அதைத் தொடர்ந்து ஸ்ரீமதி ராதாராணி அவதரித்த தினத்தை சிறப்பு உபன்யாசம், அதைத் தொடர்ந்து சரியாக காலை 10:30 மணி அளவில் பகவான் ஸ்ரீ ராதா கிருஷ்ணர் மற்றும் ராதாராணி அவர்களுக்கு மிக கோலாகலமான மகா அபிஷேகம் நடைபெறவுள்ளது. நீங்கள் எல்லாம் கோகுலாஷ்டமி பார்த்திருக்கலாம். கலச அபிஷேகம், 3 விதமான கலச அபிஷேகம்